Welcome to Animated Movie Recaps. Dapper Koala presides over a once grand theatre that has fallen on hard times. An eternal optimist, and a bit of a scoundrel, he loves his theatre above all, and will do anything to preserve it. Facing the crumbling of his life's ambition, he takes one final chance to restore his fading jewel to its former glory by producing the world's greatest singing competition. 5 contestants emerge: a mouse, an elephant, a pig, a gorilla, and a punk rock porcupine. The film starts with a young koala named Buster Moon, going to see his first musical production as a child. He is utterly enthralled by the show, and dreams of working in theatre. As an adult, Buster has taken over the same theatre where he saw that play. However, the business could have gone better, and the theatre is in trouble. Buster's assistant, Ms. Crawley, informs him that angry stage crew workers are outside because their checks have bounced. Buster gets away on his bike as he rushes to the bank. As Buster rides through town, we meet some of the other main characters: Johnny, a gorilla singing to himself in an alley, but he ducks when he sees the cops. He speaks into the radio to tell a group of guys to stay put, but his father and gang leader, Big Daddy, and his goons break out and grab Johnny as they have just robbed some valuables. Next, we meet Rosita, the pig, an overworked mother of 25 piglets and wife to Norman, who doesn't notice how much work she does or that she likes to sing. Then we see Ash, a porcupine, and her boyfriend Lance, a punk rock duo, with Lance singing lead. He doesn't like it when she steps in to sing on her own. Somewhere across town, we meet Mina the elephant, singing to her grandfather for his birthday. He loves her voice and encourages her to get out and show others what she's got. Finally, we meet Mike, the mouse, a sax player who is greedy and selfish. He calls out a guy who gives him a coin, forcing him to give up everything he's got in his pockets. Buster goes to a restaurant to meet with his sheep friend Eddie, whose family has invested a lot in Buster's theatre, but they are not happy with the results. Buster thinks he's come up with the answer to all his problems. He wants to hold a singing competition at his theatre. Eddie isn't keen on the idea, and soon, he and Buster get kicked out of the restaurant when Buster takes out some sandwiches. Later on, Buster has Ms. Crawley make flyers for the competition. Since he doesn't have a lot of money to offer as a reward, he tells her to advertise a $1,000 reward, with a bunch of junk stuffed into a treasure chest to make it look like it holds prize money. Ms. Crawley's fake eye pops out and bounces on the keyboard, causing the ad to show the reward is $100,000. She prints out thousands of flyers but stands next to the fan, causing it to blow every flyer into town. Many animals find the flyers and think they have a shot at something big. The next morning, Buster is surprised to see a whole line of animals going down the block outside the theatre. Over 100 animals audition, including Johnny, Rosita, Mike, and Ash. Mina goes to audition, but she has a severe case of stage fright, and she bails. When all is said and done, Buster selects Johnny, Mike, and Ash as the solo acts, while Rosita is paired with another pig named Gunter. Buster then learns that Ms. Crawley advertised a $100,000 reward. He panics while trying to maintain the illusion that there is a lot of money in that chest. The animals start rehearsing for the show. Buster gives them a list of songs they can go with. Johnny learns he has to play the piano, and Ash is none too pleased to be given a list of cheesy pop songs since she is a teenage girl. Mina returns after having been pressured by her grandfather to re-audition. She brings Buster a cake and finds him as he tries to connect an extension cord to a nearby building after the electric company shuts off the power. Since Mina is too nervous to ask for a second chance, Buster assumes she wants to be part of the stage crew. She accepts, and Mina returns home to find that her mother told all their friends that Mina got into the show. A bank rep named Judith goes by the theatre to tell Buster to get his account sorted, or the bank will take the theatre. Buster approaches Eddie and asks if he can get his grandmother, legendary performer Nana Noodleman, to give the theatre some funding. Eddie is nervous about talking to Nana, but Buster tags along to convince her to invest in the theatre. Nana thinks Buster ruined the theatre with the shows he's put on, but he doesn't give up on trying to change her mind. Outside of rehearsals, the other animals deal with issues of their own. Ash wants to write an original song, but Lance is dismissive of her making her own music. Ash later finds Lance working with another girl porcupine named Becky, prompting Ash to kick Lance out of her apartment. Mike becomes so confident that he will win the reward that he takes out a loan to buy a fancy car to impress a lady mouse. They enter a nightclub where Mike plays against 3 big bears. One of the bears sees that Mike cheated, and he chases after the mouse, only to lose him as he escapes the club. Johnny is torn between being a getaway driver for his father's gang and his singing practice. During one of their heists, Johnny takes his spare time to go to rehearsal, but when he needs to get back, he gets stuck in a traffic jam. Big Daddy and his boys are arrested because of this. Later, Johnny visits his dad in jail and admits that he was rehearsing for the show, and that he would rather be a singer than be in his dad's gang. Big Daddy is furious, and he disowns Johnny. At night, Johnny sneaks into the theater and tries to steal the treasure chest, thinking he can use the supposed money to bail out his dad. However, he stops when he sees his audition sheet and sees that Buster wrote him down as a natural-born singer. Ms. Crawley appears, and Johnny plays it off as though he needs more piano lessons. She happily sits down to help him. Buster gets Mina to help him organize a setup for a preview that he will put on for Nana. They get water from a water tower and use squids to create a lights display. Nana arrives and is impressed by the show, but the 3 bears find Mike in the theater and threaten to eat him unless he gives them their money. Mike tells the bears that the money is in the treasure chest. The main bear smashes the chest, revealing all Buster's junk and no money. His ruse is exposed to the other animals, but things get worse when the water tank cracks, causing the whole theater to get flooded and destroyed. The bank takes over what's left of the theater. Buster sinks into despair and hopelessness. The animal cast heads over to Eddie's home, where Buster is staying, to try and cheer him up, but he has given up and declares himself a failure. Buster and Ms. Crawley start a car wash business like his father used to do. Eddie steps in to help him out. A while later, Buster overhears Mina singing Hallelujah by herself where the theater used to be. Impressed and reinvigorated by her singing, Buster comes up with a new plan. Buster calls the animals so that the show may go on. Mike bails when he learns it's no longer a competition and there won't be any prize money. They set up a stage in the middle of the theater ruins and get some of the animals' families to come by. The show begins with Rosita and Gunter performing Shake It Off with a dance in sparkly outfits. Rosita's kids are excited, and Norman is so astonished that he runs up on the stage to kiss his wife. Next, Johnny plays the piano and sings, I'm Still Standing. Big Daddy watches from prison and is amazed by his son's singing. He immediately breaks out to see Johnny, leading to a citywide search for Big Daddy. Ash gets on to play her original song, but Judith, the bank rep, unplugs the music and tells everyone to leave. Ash continues to play the song Set It All Free. Ash gets so into it that she accidentally shoots out quills into the audience. Mike sees the show on TV and sets out to prove to viewers that he's better than the rest. He rushes to the theater and puts on a soulful rendition of My Way, as the police helicopters fly overhead, nearly pulling Mike into the sky. He manages to finish the song, but unfortunately, the bears see the show and head to the theater to get him. Meanwhile, Big Daddy makes it to the theater and sees Johnny. He hugs his son, apologizes for what he said, and praises his musical talent. Big Daddy then willingly goes back to prison. Mina is the last performer. She is very nervous until Buster convinces her that all she needs to do is sing. She starts a slow and shy version of Don't You Worry About a Thing before belting out her voice, leaving Mike with his jaw on the floor. The bears snatch him, nearly eating him until the lady mouse saves Mike. Having been in the audience the whole time, Nana sees Buster and applauds with the rest of the audience. She finally gives Buster her funding so that they can repurchase the theater and rebuild it into an even bigger and better theater. The film ends with Buster and all his new friends gathered for the theater's grand reopening.